Hi, I'm Marion Weinstein, and I'm really excited to have a wonderful guest today. My guest today is a very important person in our culture. It's Donna Henes, the urban shaman. I'm fortunate that I've known Donna for many years, and her work is beyond amazing. She's very well known, and she does very important work. We don't have too many shamans in our culture, especially in our city, but, excuse me, that's New York City and its environs, but Donna is our shaman. So welcome, Donna.
Thank you, Marion. Thank you. Urban shaman, I like to say.
Yes, urban, of course. That's what's going on here. Okay, now as a shaman, you specialize in what?
I specialize in the cycles of the seasons that I call celestially auspicious occasions, the holidays and holy days that have to do with the movement of the sun, moon, and stars.
These are astrological.
Astronomical. I'm not an astrologer, so yes. But yes, these are the solstices, the equinoxes, new and full moons, eclipses, and so on. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I know you do.
Now, you've been doing this for how long?
30 plus years, closer to 35.
It's amazing because in many countries and in many cultures, there are people. The shaman, of course, is very important and leads the whole community, which you do. And the shaman is trained as a part of the culture, as a part of the tradition. How did you get trained?
Honestly, Marion, and I can say this to you because I know you'll understand.
And they will too.
And they will too. But I think that I am picking up in this lifetime where I left off before. So I came in knowing. And it was a long process. When I say I've been doing this 35 years, I've been doing this 35 years professionally. But even as a child, I did ceremony, I did ritual, I had my spiritual practice. I just had no container to put it in. I didn't know the words, I had no vocabulary, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I was compelled to do it.
And you knew you were performing a service?
Yeah.
For the community?
Yeah, I think so. I think I did know that pretty early, yeah.
I think you're doing amazing. Now, Donna is, every year when I try to stand eggs on end, and I can't on the vernal equinox, Donna is the person who introduced that to this hemisphere. That's a magical thing, and she holds her ceremonies and her rituals right on the moment of the astrological turning point of whatever is going on. That would have been the vernal equinox. What we have coming up next is the midsummer solstice.
Summer solstice, yeah.
And you're going to have an event for that?
Oh, of course. Of course. I've never missed one yet.
Where are some of the places where you do your events?
Well, for many, many years, almost 20 years, my public altar was at the World Trade Center. It was the plaza in front of the World Trade Center. And then, of course, that's not possible to do anymore, but I've been at the United Nations and the South Street Seaport and various parks and plazas all over the city. Yeah.
How many people would you say come to these events?
Well, let me see. The last spring equinox was my smallest event ever.
Oh, really?
Because it was not only at 2-something a.m. on a Thursday on a work school night, but it was pouring rain.
And
I knew I was going to be the only person there, and I wasn't. 4 people showed up, which was amazing, actually. I was astonished.
I'm not surprised.
But at the World Trade Center, when it happened to be close to noon or close to 9 a.m. or 5 p.m., there were 10,000 people. So, and there's been everything in between.
Why is it important for people to connect with the seasons and with what's going on in the heavens at these times?
Well, you know what they say, the wise ones say, as above, so below.
Yes.
And people have often asked me, why do I work in New York City? Why don't I go to the desert or, you know, California or something where there's more nature? Well, there's nature in the city, you know, and to me the people are the nature. But people forget that we're part of nature. We've gotten into a lot of trouble environmentally because our culture believes that we're the boss of nature, not that we're part of nature. And so I think it's really important for people to realize that here we are people, we're human beings, and we're part of a planet which is a living being. And the planet is part of a solar system, and the solar system is part of a universe, and the universe is part of a cosmos that has untold universes. We have no idea how many there are. And according to Einstein, it's an ever-expanding universe. So, you know, in both directions, time and space is limitless and boundless. And so it's important for us to realize, I really believe that we need to understand that we are part of everything, not separate from it. We are nature, we are animals, we are earthlings, we are universarians, and I think that once we have that understanding, that we'll be better on it.
And I think that all the work that you do influences the greater universe, influences the greater population and the entire earth. And that's why I think it's so important.
Right.
Now, tell us about your website.
I have two, actually, but my main website is Donna Henes, DonnaHenes.net.
That's DonnaHenes.net. And what would you recommend that most people do to keep connected if they can't attend any of your events, yet they still want to feel the connection to nature and they want to feel the connection to the greater universe?
Well, I think that it's important for us to empower ourselves so that we understand that we, even though we're a tiny part of the great whole, we're a very important part of the great whole. So I really have been working a lot lately on recommending that people bless themselves. And some people are intimidated by this idea, you know, like, am I qualified? How can I bless myself? But until and unless people feel respect for themselves and honor for themselves and learn how to love themselves, then we can't love anybody else. You know, the whole golden rule says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I've never read a golden rule that says, love thy neighbor more than thyself.
Right.
So it assumes that you love yourself in order to love others. And it just occurred to me just last week, actually, that we do live according to the golden rule. People are not very good to themselves.
Very often.
You know, and we're not very good to anybody else. You know, we're nasty, we have wars, we cheat, we're greedy.
Well, let's not say we are, let's say we seem to have been up until now.
Up until now, that's a good point.
Yeah,
thank you.
And we are both trying to change this.
Yes, exactly.
Well, my guest has been Donna Henes. This is Marion Weinstein. My dogs have been participating, and so has hers. And thank you for being here, and blessed be.